How are you, everybody? Kevin Iole here. What a night at the Barclays Center, at least for Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach Jr. fought an unbelievable fight. He did not get blown out, as so many people, including myself, thought might happen against Gervonta Davis in their fight for the WBA lightweight title. But I'll bet nobody saw this coming. Davis retains the championship because of referee Steve Willis. Nobody could have seen that coming. But a call by the referee in the 9th round was the difference in the fight. And that is really unfortunate. You can make an argument. Let's throw the 9th round controversy aside for a split second. You can make a argument on who you thought won the fight, because the fight was very close. I had it 115-113 for Lamont Roach. One of the judges, Eric Marlinsky, scored it 115-113 for Tank Davis. Glenn Feldman and Steve Weisfeld had it 114-114. It was a close fight, and the first half of the fight was dreadful. And that's really, I think, where the fight was decided, because look at the first round. I have the CompuBox stats up in front of me. Roach landed 3 punches, Davis landed 1. In round 2, Davis landed 3 punches, Roach landed 4. In round 3, Davis landed 8 punches, Roach landed 7. There wasn't a lot going on in those rounds. So I can understand how, one person may have thought Davis won that round, another person thought that Roach won it. And so those rounds count when we're getting to the end, and we remember the action that occurred at the end of the fight. The fight really picked up in about round 7, and I thought it was kind of scintillating down the stretch. Not the best fight I ever saw, but you see this 16-1 underdog, Lamont Roach, who's moving up from super featherweight to lightweight to fight Tank Davis. And he's standing there toe-to-toe, giving as good as he got throughout the entire fight. I thought Davis got buzzed a couple of times in the fight. You never saw Roach wobble. You never saw him look like he was in danger of going down. You never looked and said, hey, he's hurt at this point. Here's an opportunity for Tank. Tank did a lot better in the second half of the fight. But a bizarre incident happens in round 9. Davis takes a knee, and everybody's going like, what is going on? And then he turns and he goes to his corner, and you see one of his trainers, Calvin Ford, walking up the steps with a towel. Now, thankfully, referee Steve Willis did not allow Ford to work on him with the towel, got him back in. But even when he brought him back, he didn't start the fight back right away. They had a little bit of a conversation, and Davis gets a rest. Davis later said that the reason he did that was the grease from his hair gel got into his eyes. Never heard that one before. And so that was why he took the knee. You can't do that. There are no timeouts in boxing, and basically he took a timeout. And the referee did not rule it a knockdown. When your knee hits the canvas, it is a knockdown. And the way the fight was scored, that would have been a majority decision win for Lamont Roach if it's called a knockdown. And it really was unfortunate the way it played out. So yeah, it was really something. I could not believe Willis's call there. Davis didn't fight well. It looked to me like he read the press clippings. He was a 16-1 favorite. And my sense early in the fight was that Davis, did not train particularly hard for this bout. It looked like there was a little bit of confusion in his corner. Barry Hunter was the chief second for the first time, and it just didn't look like there was the kind of cohesion with Team Davis that we had seen in the past. I'm certainly not blaming Barry for this. I'm just saying it looked different. It just didn't seem like he was on top of his game. But certainly Steve Willis's non-call just turns the entire fight around. And that is really too bad, because at the end of the day, the fact that Gervonta Davis has the championship still in his possession should be because he was the better fighter, but instead it was because the referee just ignored the rules. It wasn't like he didn't see Davis go down. He knew that Davis was down. He was looking right at him. He pulled him out of the corner and got him back to fight, but he just decided not to call it a knockdown. And that just boggles my mind. I don't understand that. Um, Davis said he wanted a rematch, and he suggested doing the rematch at the Barclays Center again. And I think that is appropriate wherever they do the rematch. They had a record crowd tonight, so probably a good idea to do a rematch. There were 19,250 in there. It was the biggest crowd for a sporting event. I think it was the second biggest gate in arena history behind the Rolling Stones. So it was a big success financially tonight. So yeah, go ahead and do it again. But Lamont Roach deserves a chance at the championship where the referee doesn't make a mistake like that. Now, I put in my column on KevinIole.com, I said, look, there have been a lot of fights like this in history. If you remember a guy named Kirkland Lang, most of you probably will not, but Kirkland Lang defeated Roberto Duran in 1983. Who has ever heard of Kirkland Lang before that or really after that? But he has a win over the great Roberto Duran. We all know about Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas in 1990. Mike was a 42-1 favorite in that fight and got knocked out in the 10th round. So it happens, right? It happens. And I'm not going to castigate Tank. He had a off night. He fought hard in the second half of the fight to get himself back in the fight and arguably win it. You can make an argument that he won, and I won't argue with that, assuming we're not talking about the referee's non-call. But I just thought it was really poor officiating for the fight to turn out the way it did. And that's what's really sad about this thing. So, where do we go from here? Do we have Davis do an immediate rematch? Do we see them each fight somebody else and then come back? I just think you have to go immediate rematch, right? You have the big crowd, you had the record gate. Davis's record is now sullied. He's 30-1, so you're never going to get a chance to finish your career with the perfect record. That is a big thing. And his reputation is going to take a hit. I will bet you that everybody who does pound for pound list will drop him down. And there's going to be people talking about his lack of competition. And no, Gervonta Davis has not fought the best level of competition for somebody of his skill level. There are fights that he could have taken that he hasn't taken. But I just think this is one of those things, right? I think it happens to a lot of stars. It happens to a lot of fighters. You just have a bad night and, you don't have it, whatever that is, right? And he didn't have it on this particular night. And Roach fought the fight of his life and Roach got the victory. So, all credit to Lamont Roach. I did not give Lamont Roach any kind of shot like this. I just did. I thought in my mind, how does Lamont Roach survive the power of Tank Davis? He's a guy that did not show great boxing skill in the past. A good boxer, but not a great boxer. I thought Tank was actually the better boxer going into the fight, let alone the bigger puncher. But Roach did very, very well. I thought his corner did a good job. His father, Lamont Roach Sr., really came up with a good game plan. I thought his instructions to his son were very good in between. And I felt like they really performed at the top. Now, as often happens, right, he may get the rematch, but now he's got to beat Davis again to get the glory. And, he didn't even get the win on the night when it looks like he beats him. What's going to happen the next time around? But he deserves the chance. I hope you enjoyed the fight. It was a lot of fun. The first part of the fight, not so much fun, but certainly as it picked up, the second half of the fight was entertaining. They were going at it pretty good. A lot of controversy, a lot of talk. So that always makes it fun. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on if you were referee Steve Willis, what you would have done. Was that a knockdown? Do you think Roach deserves a rematch? How you scored the fight. I'll be interested in seeing how you guys scored the fight. Also, do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. And if you don't mind, go over to kevinioli.com and check out what I have over there, because there is a lot of stuff there, and I think you will enjoy what you see. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the fights, everybody. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great